Here at Channel 17, we open the door to local government by providing coverage of meetings and local events for people in Chittenden County. And we do that on Channel 17, as I said, and also Channel 317. Channel 17 runs on Comcast, and Channel 317 runs also on Burlington Telecom. And we found out through a strategic planning process that we did a couple years ago that folks said, we love the fact that public meetings are on the air and that they're gavel to gavel, meaning from beginning to end, but we're really busy and we don't have time to watch these meetings. So can you help us, busy people, be more involved in local government? And we thought about it, and we were in the process of putting all of the programs online so folks could watch them not only on Comcast and Burlington Telecom, but also on online on channel17.org and cctv.org. And we thought, what if we could create chapters in each of these meetings so that folks go through agenda items during the Burlington City Council, for example, and find just the agenda item that they wanted to watch. And it's turned out that this we call clickable meeting agendas is a very popular feature of our meeting coverage because it enables busy people to find out what's happening in their community and also to not have to be committed to an entire meeting just to find out what's going on. The broader purpose of Channel 17, of course, is to keep the press honest and to keep politicians honest, because when you're covering meetings from beginning to end and there's a record of it, people know where the real story is. So that's an important function, but the real issue of how to open the door to local government and to make it easy for people to participate is one that we've tackled at Channel 17. So we also have used new information and communications technologies such as Twitter, which is a good example. We post our most recent news on our Twitter feed, and that Twitter feed actually shows up on our website. So anything that we have related to Channel 17 that's new and different and 140 characters will show up on Twitter. And we also have another project called Common Good Vermont, which is a nonprofit capacity building project. And we use this new web hub that we've designed as a way to gather information of people in the nonprofit sector, what they know, pictures that they take, Twitter posts that they put up, resources that they think are interesting. And the website actually is, there's no there to the website. All of the content on the commongoodvt.org website comes from other sources. So you'll find on the front page of commongoodvt.org is a Twitter feed of every Twitter post that has been labeled NPVT for Nonprofit Vermont. So if anybody puts up a picture or a Twitter post or a delicious tag, that is an internet bookmark, or basically any kind of content that they want to share, and they put NPVT on it, that tag will enable us to pull that into the Common Good website to share with the rest of the community. So this idea of aggregating or putting into the same basket the knowledge of the nonprofit sector in Vermont is a very powerful example of what's called crowdsourcing. That is, taking a little of what everybody knows, putting it into a basket so it becomes a giant brain trust of what we all know and we all think are useful, so that we can share it across the geographic boundaries that separate us in the state of Vermont, because we know geography is a pretty big barrier to our cultural exchange in the state of Vermont. So now nonprofits across the state can share information based on topic. It could be on how to raise better money, how to build a better board, how to have a better staff, those kind of topics. And they can also share information on their sector, arts, human resources, or human services, environment, different subjects related to the sectors that they serve. And they can also share information based on geography. So using what we call meta tagging, or tagging, this very simple way of filtering this tidal wave of information that comes across our desks. By using tagging, we can actually sort and get to the information that's really useful for us. So those are two examples of how we use technology in our work. We also advocate, as you know, for public access to cable and all forms of telecommunications. And that advocacy work is really central to our entire mission here at CCTV and all the programs that we have. Because unless we have access to the means of production and distribution of new and traditional media, we really are shut out of political discussion, cultural discussions, and educational opportunities. And we think that it's really important, certainly, to bring broadband to many parts of the state. I might argue maybe not all parts of the state. I actually think that we should have cold spots in some corners of Vermont, because there is going to be a time when people are going to want to go somewhere where they are not connected. But that's a PS. But at the same time, you can build the electronic highway, but if people don't know how to use the tools and they don't know how to distribute what they've produced, then the highway really is kind of an empty road. So when we think about access, we mean not only being able to get into the on the exit and the entrance and exit ramps, right? But being able to drive the car and even fix the car if you need to, so that you can expand your reach and impact using this new infrastructure of the future that we're building for the state. So when we think about access, we think of it very broadly, and when we think about the haves and the have-nots, we really see that as there are a lot of different divides within our community, and the divides exist between people that have broadband access and people that don't, but also between the people that think critically about media and people that don't. The people that know how to use new internet tools and the people that don't. And I think there are many levels on which there are divides, and the generational one is as big as the economic one. And so we've got our eye on that. The way that we achieve this mission of promoting access and free speech is not only to set up projects like Channel 17, as I've described, and Common Good Vermont, but also to provide training opportunities. We have Media Maven trainings where we teach people how to use new media tools. We have capacity building training for nonprofits. We hold them here in Burlington. We hold them at locations across the state. And we also record and webcast these programs so that folks can watch them from any of our websites. So I think that gives you a pretty good idea of how we are trying to connect the community with the tools, with the information, and the power that we all have that makes a democracy work. Because without citizens who are empowered to participate and know how to communicate and know how to speak truth to power, we really don't have a democracy at all. So that's what we're working on, and thanks for asking.